Okay, my first video about fighters as football clubs performed like absolute shit, but I've had a lot of fun in the process of making it, so here's part 2. Your favorite fighters as football clubs.
Glory, glory, Tottenham Hotspur. Glory, glory, Tottenham Hotspur.
We're gonna start it off with Tottenham Hotspur. They are consistently inconsistent, yet they're always competitive with top teams. Every now and then, they beat a top team and build up some real hype, and they have gotten to multiple finals and fought for multiple trophies recently. Only catch is, they always came short. They are known as the bottlers of England. They can beat anyone on their day, but whenever it comes to winning a trophy, they just can't get over the line. The last trophy they won was in 2008, that being the Carling Cup, which is essentially like the least prestigious title in England, okay? It's a title most people don't really care about, and this leads to them often being clowned and they're the laughingstock of football, because even if they reach a final, they always end up falling behind and capitulating, which is the equivalent of submitting in MMA. And that brings us to Dustin Poirier, because he fits this description perfectly in my opinion. They say pressure makes diamonds, but Dustin Poirier lost every fight where there was a lot of pressure, okay?
You sound as though you're feeling the pressure.
I'm not feeling the pressure, no. You cannot put pressure on me, no chance.
He has lost all 3 title fights, and Dustin is a very good fighter and can have some really impressive performances, yet whenever he fights for the title, it's just not enough. He has lost all 3 title fights by submission in the same anticlimactic way Spurs lose. He can beat anyone else on his day and even managed to capture an interim title. The interim title can be compared to Spurs' Carling Cup, since it's the least prestigious title apart from the fucking BMF belt, even though I don't really count that as a title. That's just a name badge that the UFC gives to you so people watch the card. And this also leads to Dustin being clowned for going essentially 0-3 in real title fights, and that just reminds me of Tottenham in recent history, okay? Yeah, Tottenham is from North London and we're gonna stay right in North London. So let's get to the shittier side in North London, Arsenal. They have a great past and are best known for their invincible season, not even losing once in the Premier League and eventually winning the trophy. As amazing as they were, they eventually fell behind by far against their biggest rival Manchester United, and later Manchester City and Liverpool and even Chelsea. Ever since, they haven't been able to reach those heights again, though they have gotten agonizingly close to winning it all these last 2 seasons, because they finished in second twice, obviously behind Manchester City, the team that just has cheat codes activated, okay? They were extremely ahead of the rest, yet they couldn't get the #1 spot. This brings us to Max Holloway. Max beat the at the time featherweight GOAT twice. I'm talking about Jose Aldo here in case you're confused, and he looked like one of the best in the world and surely the best in his weight class. However, eventually a guy named Volkanovski came along and took Holloway's title. Max Holloway fought him 3 times, but he could just never beat him, eventually falling behind in terms of legacy. Though he got agonizingly close, just like Arsenal, in the second fight with Volkanovski. He dropped him twice, but Volk clutched up 1 rounds 3, 4 and 5, and yeah, Holloway finished in second again. He also got a title shot against Ilya. We all know how that ended. He wasn't able to capture the title, but he was always easily ahead of the other fighters, just like Arsenal were ahead from everyone besides the eventual champion these last years. He did a lot and fought well, but it was only enough for second place, not being able to get back to his former glory. And just like Arsenal this season, it looks like Max Holloway is declining for now. Now let's leave England and go to Germany, because we're gonna talk about Bayern Munich. They are known for being very methodical, technical, logical and the long reigning champions. They never relied on passion or luck or just gritting through, toughing it out. No, that's not Bayern Munich. They just did very efficient work on and off the field in terms of players and financials. This led to them winning the Bundesliga a record 34 times, rarely ever letting upsets happen. And even if they happened, Bayern would always get back to their winning ways. Like, they lost the title to Dortmund for 2 consecutive years. What's happened ever since then? They have tortured and tormented Dortmund ever since that. Leverkusen won the league last season. This season it doesn't look like we're gonna see the same. Bayern is gonna be champion again, and next year and the year after that, because Bayern won't just let upsets fly like that. And that brings us to GSP, George St. Pierre, the arguable GOAT of our sport. Just like Bayern, he was never about emotion, passion, or just toughing it out. GSP was always about efficiency. His training was usually rather technical, not intense. Firas Zahabi did a great piece on that. And just like Bayern, this led to him consistently dominating the landscape of the welterweight division. He also suffered the eventual upsets by Matt Hughes and Matt Serra, but he would always end up getting back to the very top. And with that, our journey is gonna continue to Italy, because we're gonna go to Inter Milan. Inter is most renowned for their season in 2010. They were a squad of older players, but they had the genius head coach. That man was Jose Mourinho.
I am Jose Mourinho.
Their playing style was not about flair, but efficiency. They always chose the path of least resistance. This got them to the holy grail of club football, the treble.
Due attaccanti principi dell'Inter, Milito, una finta in area, ancora! È il principe, Diego Milito!
They won the Italian League, the Cup, and the Champions League, upsetting everybody else. And they beat everyone. Yet this period of success was rather short. They achieved a lot, but they did it all in a short time and then just faded off the horizon. This brings me to Khabib Nurmagomedov. His head coach was his father, Abdul Manap. And just like Mourinho's Inter squad, Khabib wasn't the youngest in his best times, and Khabib's 3 title defenses against Conor, Gaethje and Dustin are essentially his version of the treble. Okay, we're not only gonna stay in Italy for our next entry, but we're even gonna stay in Milano, because we are gonna talk about AC Milan. AC Milan is one of the most iconic football clubs in the world, known for its rich history and success. Milan was a powerhouse, dominating both domestic and European football during the 1990s. Listen, just so you know, in football, the 1990s is not the dinosaur eras, okay? In MMA, that is the case, because MMA was practically non-existent in the 1990s. Football has been around for quite a long time, so the 1990s are not just the past. However, the 2010s were very challenging for them. They were marked by inconsistent performances, and the club began a revival in 2020. Eventually, they won the Serie A title in 2022 after an 11-year drought, which is insane for the club that claims to be number 1 in Italy.
Perché Milano non è Milan. Italia è Milan!
However, this was the only shining light of success in these last 10 years. They are far from removed from the Milan that was at the very top. This brings us to Jose Aldo. Jose Aldo is one of the greatest MMA fighters of all time, known for his incredible speed, precision, striking and dominant reign as champion. Aldo became the WEC featherweight champion in 2009. Delivering highlight reel performances. When the WEC merged with the UFC in 2010, Aldo was crowned the inaugural UFC featherweight champion and defended his title 7 times, which is insane. However, in 2015, he suffered a shocking 13-second KO loss to Conor McGregor, marking a turning point in his career. Despite the setback, he reclaimed the title in 2016, but then again, he lost it pretty quickly to Max Holloway and could never reclaim it. Aldo's later years showcased his resilience and evolution as a fighter, and he would end up getting some good wins and some good achievements, but he is still not even close to reaching his former glory. For the last entry on this list, we're gonna travel over to Spain and we are gonna talk about Real Madrid. Real Madrid is one of the most successful and iconic football clubs in history, renowned for its unmatched legacy in both domestic and European football. Founded in 1902, the club is based in Madrid, Spain, and plays its home games at the legendary Santiago Bernabéu Stadium. Known for their all-white kits, Los Blancos have a record-breaking haul of trophies, including the most UEFA Champions League titles, which is 15 as of 2025, and numerous La Liga championships. Real Madrid's philosophy emphasizes excellence, star power, and a winning mentality. Real Madrid symbolizes prestige, ambition, and the pursuit of greatness, maintaining its status as a global powerhouse. They may not look like the giant they are in every game. They sometimes have close matches with teams they are expected to easily beat. Those encounters may lead us to believing Madrid is not as good as expected, but in the end, they always end up lifting the trophy. They are like the main character of football. When they play, the world watches, both fans and haters. This reminds me of Islam Makhachev. He's extremely dominant, he's known for his elite grappling and impeccable fight IQ, he's well-rounded and very skilled, and he has essentially beaten everyone. He became the UFC champion by destroying Charles Oliveira, and he also established a lasting legacy as a dominant champion. However, there were some fights where he didn't look as dominant as we expected him to. For example, the Volkanovski fight, the first one, or the Dustin Poirier fight. These are two fighters where people just expected Makhachev to walk through them, but it turned out to be kind of a challenge. So for me, Islam Makhachev is Real Madrid right now, and I feel like Islam is like the main character of the UFC. It's either him or Alex. It could be John Jones, but Jones is inactive as fuck and everybody wants him to fight Tom Aspinall, so fuck John Jones. We also talked about John Jones in the last video, so you can go check that out. This video is done for now. Thank you for watching and have a good day.